Facebook family and friends, and welcome once again to another video of inspiration, of hope, love, support, and encouragement from Matters of the Heart. And the title of our video today is Navigating the Blended Family. Navigating the Blended Family. And as you can see, I have a beautiful couple on screen. I am going to introduce them. We have Pastor Stephen Gage and Nadira Gage. Pastor Stephen is the pastor of No Walls Church, and that church is located in Ocoee, Florida. So in case you're in the area, if you're in the Orlando area, Ocoee area, please join them for their Sunday morning service. It starts at 10 a.m. each Sunday. They're a beautiful couple. I can tell you that much. I've had many opportunities to interact with Nadira, and just a humble young woman. She has a love for God and a passion for God. And I imagine her husband has the same love and passion for God. So welcome Nadira and Stephen to Matters of the Heart.
Welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for joining. So blended families today, this one is for you. I mean, everybody could be blessed if you're thinking of getting married. If you're married, just if you have a family, you will be blessed as well. But this is especially for our blended families. And so I'm just going to be facilitating by just posing some questions, but they are going to really be bringing the encouragement to families. And I will start off by asking, what exactly is a blended family?
Anyone? So a blended family is when there is a spouse that has come into the marriage already with a child or children. So when marriage takes place, it's not just the husband and the wife, it's the husband, wife, and a family that goes along with it, depending on how many children were brought into that marriage, into that covenant. And so it's really where you have children. There could be a father that's not their biological father, or a mother that's not their biological father. And so they're all blending together to become one family.
It makes
one
sense.
Family unit.
That's right.
Alrighty. And can I ask you guys, how did God bring you guys together to make this beautiful blended family?
So I moved down to South Florida in 2011. I moved down to South Florida, so from New Jersey. So my daughter Nala could have a closer relationship with her father because he resides in South Florida. And during that time, I was obviously single. I was unmarried. I was an unmarried single mother. So when I married Stephen, that was our first and only, marriage. But I just really felt God calling me to have her have a deeper relationship with her father. And so I left my church home, my family, my everything that I knew in New Jersey on a leap of faith. And 2 years later, I met my husband. I prayed for my husband when I was single. I prayed for the right person. I prayed for someone who would not just love me, but also my child. And in 2013, I met Stephen, who had just moved down to Florida that same summer. So I believe that God was very intentional, that God is a father that hears our prayers, and we do our part to stay obedient to him. So that's my part of it.
Yeah, so Nadira moved down in 2011. I moved down in 2013. I was a college football coach, so I started coaching at Florida Atlantic University. And I moved down, left everything that I knew up in New York, didn't know anyone here in Florida. So it was a lonely time. I experienced some things that I never thought I'd be experiencing, like anxiety, depression. But in the midst of it all, I didn't even know Christ at that time. I moved down, and I just found myself lonely. And then, God placed Nadira on my path, and we met in 2013. We got engaged 2014, married 2015. So it was like, he definitely ordered our steps when we didn't even know. And also along the way, she led me to Christ too. So.
Wow, that's such an amazing story. That is absolutely an amazing story. Wow. But I like the fact that you guys, oh my God, God is so amazing. You guys both left New York City at some point, 2011 and 2013.
Yeah, I left New Jersey 2011.
New Jersey,
he left
and
New York
then he left
City.
Oh, wow. Look at God. Look at
that.
God. Amazing. Amazing. That's powerful. That's
Yeah.
powerful. We might have to meet another time to talk about some other things. I hear some things coming out, some other testimonies that I'd like to,
Oh,
to
it was a
to
lot along the
expose
way.
to people and bring encouragement. Amen.
Yes.
That is
yes.
so powerful. I love it. I love it. So, guys, what are some of the major blessings or the big blessings of this family type?
So I think that it's really cool to see our family is like an example to other families who may not be blended, just because of the fact that how Christ really is the foundation. We always talk about, if I don't know how families could do marriage without Christ, or they can operate, because I feel like that's in itself is its own layer of challenges. But what I really feel like is that we can give an example to people who may be blended families, that yes, you will have your challenges, but at the end of the day, Christ is going to see you through every single challenge, and that foundation of love, you know, the love that he has for Nala, who's not biologically his daughter, but when you see how they interact because of the love of Christ, you would never question. We would never even know. A lot of people, when they hear that, they're like, that's not your biological father, just because the blessing is that Christ can really exist and provide children that example of a mother or a father, that it's not just this step person or the stepmom or the stepdad, but it's actually a representation of our Father in heaven, and how they interact with, you know, how he interacts with us, how he loves us, how he blesses us, and how he cares for us. And so I think that's one of the beautiful blessings of our blended family.
Wow.
Is the foundation.
That's so amazing, because I know of, you know, I've come across people who with blended families who you can actually tell.
Yes.
That's not the dad's biological child, that's not the mom's biological child. But the fact that you are able to do this seamlessly, so nobody's able to know, love her just as you would love, just as you love your children, Stephan, that's truly God, and just the love of God in your heart.
That's God.
It's supernatural, really.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's one of the biggest blessings for us too. Definitely that seamless, like you said, seamlessness. When we first started out, I just said that, you know, I didn't want people to tell that, you know, that she wasn't biologically mine. So I wasn't, we don't call each other the step parent. I don't call myself stepdad, I say dad. When she refers to me, she says, that's my dad. So I think that was it. But more importantly, in the beginning, I believe that God used Nala and his blended family to mature me in ways that I needed to be matured. Because, you know, coming with a single mindset, you kind of think about yourself and don't really worry about much any other people. But having a ready-made family, as some people call it, you know, eyes were on me from the beginning, you know, so it's like, it's like, what example are you going to set, you know? So, and just being able to provide that example that, you know, that godly men do exist who honor, honored your mother, and also honored you as a child. So it's a blessing.
Man, it's really a beautiful story. Really a beautiful story. But what are some of the challenges though of the blended family, or that couples could experience?
So I know for us, like I parented my way, and for, you know, this amount of years, this is how I parented. And so when you're married and you're now parenting together, you have to learn, you're still learning each other in the context of marriage, but you're still also learning that we probably parent differently, and there are things that I had put in place. And so one of the things that was a challenge was learning how to parent together. And for me, being able to understand true submission, and being able to allow him to lead in that, because I don't want to parent one way or say something and then it goes against him, because at the end of the day, we are to operate as one. And so we had to really learn that level of parenting and talking about what are some things that we wanted to see in our family, what's a vision for our family that we wanted to see, and how do we do those steps in even parenting, and even things that we don't expose our children to publicly. So it was a very hard learning process. There were people that helped walk me through it.
Amen, amen.
We have pastors and ministers who encourage us, who we're accountable to. And I feel like every family, blended or not, needs to have that accountability to be able to encourage us when we're wrong, but also lead us to make better decisions. But parenting was definitely one of those challenges that were hard, because I did it my way, and
for a number
I
of
was
years.
the expert, right?
Yeah.
So
and I was coming in, invading their territory, but
yeah, sort of.
or seemingly, but I think that I can relate to that. Definitely parenting was some things that, like, because even as a blended, like, someone coming into their family, was like, I don't want to step on toes. Like, do I have the authority to say, like, hey, no, you need to clean your room, or, like, how does that dynamic? So working through that was definitely a challenge. I think one of the biggest challenge for us, if we can just be honest, was that we never had really a time where we were just husband and wife. We were a husband, wife, and parents right away. So for me, turning off, like, especially after we got married, was turning off like, all right, now you have to really be a husband to Nadira, and not just think as a parent, like, oh, got to make sure that, Nala's good. Of course, we done that, but I really wanted to, a challenge for me was really working my mind set to say, like, I have to be a husband first, because that's the order that, Christ has placed upon families. We honor God, we honor our spouse, and everything else flows from there. So that was a reworking of the mind for sure.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. And so having journeyed through, how many years now you guys have been married? Like
will
14,
be
you said?
8 years this
8 years,
July.
2014. Okay, 2014. Oh, 2015 you guys got married.
2015, yeah.
Okay, so 8 years. And looking back to how you started and where you are now, how do you feel? It's a lot of growth that you can see, or?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of growth. We definitely were intentional. One of the things that we learned in our marriage was to invest in your marriage. So if you are, and like, if we don't invest in our marriage, then we have a wedding and we make that investment, or we make major purchases and we make that investment, but sometimes we fail to invest in our marriage. But going to marriage conferences and just being able to grow and just have grace for one another and to encourage one another as well. I believe that that's something that has flourished in our marriage, and knowing that this is like oneness. So when they're down, our marriage unit is down. So what are we doing to really help each other grow, but also help each other to be our best version of each other? And I feel like that we've seen so much growth. And
so much growth.
God has definitely blessed our family and expanded our family. And he's just been very faithful. So that's our foundation.
That's it. It has to be, because if not, I don't know how, like you said, I don't know how families do it without Christ, because even like just thinking about just us, like, I'm so proud of my wife's growth, it's easy to overlook and, and not look back where we came from. Seeing everything that she overcame really encourages me. She does amazing job. It's an amazing job that she does, and she worked through fear, worked through a lot of different things, and the growth is outstanding. So.
Oh man!
You see, he knows my love language is words of affirmation.
Gotta make deposits.
Have to make those deposits.
Oh man, absolutely. That's so wonderful. But I mean, it's just a blessing to see you guys and to hear your story. I know now you would have how many children now?
We have 3 total.
3 in all, 3 together. Okay, wonderful. And God has been helping you this far, and now you guys are in ministry.
Yes.
Yeah,
we're in
that's
ministry
amazing.
With our whole entire family. That was a vision for our family. Like, we had to write a vision plan during our premarital counseling. Absolutely. And one of the visions was for our family to serve the Lord, to love serving the Lord, and to have that individual relationship with God. And so we are actually seeing visions that we wrote out years ago come to pass. And so my biggest thing for marriages is, first of all, a platform like this, everybody needs to be following,
Right.
listening to, because there's so many jewels that you can take. You always have to refresh and just have people
Absolutely.
speak life into your marriage, but
Absolutely.
also like, what is the vision for your marriage? Like, where do you see your marriage and your family going?
Yeah.
And I feel like every person, every marriage, every family unit dynamic needs to have that. And then thanking God along the way when he
Amen.
shows you those baby steps, or he shows
Listen.
you those steps
You got to
towards,
celebrate it.
yes,
Yes.
towards reaching that vision. So
Even when you
yes,
don't see it, you trust the Lord
Yeah.
in the process.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amen. And then I know I saw I've recently followed you, Nadira, and I noticed you guys also have a platform. So before
Yeah.
we wrap up, I'm just gonna ask you guys to tell me a little bit about that, and you know how that could even support marriages, blended families. Tell me a little bit more.
Good. First of all, if you're not following Engage Life, go follow Engage Life.
Amen. I agree. No. I fully endorse.
But we have a business company, Engage Life, and we just want to be able to pour into individuals, couples, marriages, and because Nadira has a master's in marriage and family counseling, and I have a master's in human services counseling with a focus on life coaching. So we wanted to combine that and provide services and give people like tools to enhance like their family, their lives, and go from there. She could probably say it more eloquently than I
No,
can,
that's
but
good. That's
good.
That's what it is. We
Yeah.
provide coaching services, like he said,
Yes.
to individuals, to couples, and to even family units. So with blended, what that helps is with blended families is that we can speak on that perspective. That helps with women. I can speak on, being a single mom, or even being just a single woman, and like, what do you do in this
Absolutely.
season of waiting,
Yes.
and
Yes.
encouraging women not to settle, and just like he encourages men to maintain the standard, So that's what we do. That's what we provide. And so our website is engagelife.net. We are going to be releasing our book on blended shortly. And so that's why we've been putting out.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
some of our posts have little snippets from our book. So when people see the picture, they also see what's coming from the book, to know that that's coming from a place. And so we're just excited for what God is doing through Engage Life. Yeah. And of course, we got it from our names. There was actually a lady who spoke, she said, engage my life. And so she actually spoke that. And then we just took it and we ran with it, and we said, wow, look at God. So
it kind of fits. And I think it's something that we do, like, we just love to do. Like before there was a title of pastor or anything of that nature, we just love interacting with people. We're natural coaches. I'm a athletic coach. She's an athletic coach. She was actually the head coach, and I was her assistant coach for the track program. So awesome. I told her I was the world's greatest assistant because she was the world's greatest head coach. So just naturally. So if we're around you, naturally, we just want to pull things out of you. Yeah. And that's just the way that we are. We just want to see people be their best. We don't always have to be in the spotlight, but if we can pull people alongside of us and say, like, you go first, we want to push y'all further. That's our heart. So amen.
And that is a beautiful ministry. I see. Beautiful ministry.
Amen.
Yeah, it was so nice chatting with you guys for the short time. I'm sure we didn't even maybe about 15 minutes. It was just such a pleasure and an honor to have you guys on with me today.
Thank you.
And rest assured, you guys are going to be back. I hear so many topics coming out, like singleness. I hear so many topics coming out. So definitely I am going to be asking you guys to come back.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. It's been such a blessing. Blended Families. Here's some resource for you. You can visit their website, engagelife.com, right?
.net.
.net, and also the Facebook page. And what's the Facebook? It's Engage Life.
Yes.
Okay, and you can get some support there. They're gonna have a book coming out shortly. Please purchase and support the beautiful couple. Thank you so much, Nadira and Pastor Stephan. It was a pleasure having you again. Facebook family and friends, do have a blessed and a productive week. Bye-bye.